Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Stash Report from the Stash Project. Today is July 12th, 2021. And we, once again, are connected to the internet. Things will probably still be late because I'm still working 6 days a week at work, but at least I can actually get online and on a big screen when I'm at home. So that's a new feeling I haven't had in like 3 weeks. So we have Hasegawa September announcements, and we have a few releases this week as well. A few July kits and reissues have popped up. So those Hasegawa September 2021 kit releases going to get a reissue of their venerable 240Z rally car, this time in the 1973 TPCS Clover Rally winning livery. This is part of the JMS Ronson Trophy Rally Championship Series of something I can find absolutely nothing about online. It appears to be a intra-Japan rally championship, perhaps an earlier visage of some of the other Japan-based rally kits they've released since then, like the Nissan Bluebird. Not the old Bluebird, but the 80s, 90s Bluebird that they're doing. But it's the winning car. The literature does say that the kit wheels are not the same shape as the real ones. The real ones appear to be steel wheels, like spare tire steel wheels, whereas the wheels that are in the actual rally kit are the more traditional 240 ZR wheels. So you may have to source some steelies for this if you really care. Otherwise, the car is that Grand Prix maroon that all of them tend to be, and yeah, winning livery for a rally that you've never actually even heard of before. Also on the rally front, they're going to reissue their Lancia Stratos HF with the 1981 Tour de Course Team Chardonnay winning livery. I'm not sure that this livery's been in this Hasegawa kit before. I know that the livery itself has been available through Studio 27 and others over the course of years, but I don't believe this has actually been boxed as a Hasegawa kit itself before, so that's a new set of decals. Reissuing their Toyota Corolla Corolla 11 AE92 kit with another Japanese touring car championship livery. This is going to be the Wed Sport car from the 1989 season in the Fuji Intertech race at the end of the year. Car finished second in its class, not the race, but in its class. I think it finished like 13th overall, but in its class, finished second. Very funny, well, not that funny, but amusing to me personally. A friend and I were discussing this car when a video series was done of a collection of Wed Sport race cars that still exist to this day, being recorded in the present time. They're survivors. And he said, well, it'd be really great if they could make a kit of this, because it's a very colorful car. It's yellow, it's black, it's very, very bright. And I said, well, Hasegawa had just tooled up those 2 new sets of wheels in the AE101 kits a few months ago, and one of those sets of wheels specifically is what this car runs on all 4 spots, not just on the front. I said, so if they wanted to drop the decals, they have the AE92 Corolla 11 race car kit now, so they really just need to package those new wheels with a new set of decals into this fairly new kit. There's only been the 2 versions of it so far, and Shazam, they have a whole new model, and don't you know, about 4 months later, we're going to get it. 4 months total from the time we talked about it till September. And so that's kind of cool, kind of fun. I didn't talk to anybody. I can't say I have any influence over that unless people are just, spying my Facebook chats at this point. Why not? I mean, if everyone else is being watched by the government, why can't I be? Although, it appears to be the government of Japan, so that's not the worst thing in the world. Gonna get a reissue of their, what they call the mini crossover. This is the Mini Clubman. You may not recall that Hasegawa has made a Mini Clubman. This would be a 2008 kit, I want to say, or so, of the new Mini Cooper Clubman. And they've done, this is called the British Jack Part 2. They've done the kit, and then they did a kit in a black paint job with like yellow and orange neon decal package. They did one with that Pokemon bear, and they also did one with British Union Jacks all over it, and this is going to be the second version of this. There's no new parts to this. This is just another attempt to slather a British flag all over a Mini Cooper Clubman, which I guess they'll probably successfully do. But if you've never seen this kit before, it's actually a pretty nice kit for what it is. I think a lot of people thought this was going to be made into a rally kit at some point because they do rally these cars, but that never seemed to have come to fruition. And other than new decals for it a couple of times, they've never actually done anything with this kit other than, again, just reissue it with new decals every so often. So it's a fun kit, just an oddball type British car if you're into those type of things. Obviously, you don't have to put the crazy decals on if you don't want to. Otherwise, builds a curbside factory stock Mini Cooper Clubman. They're going to reissue their Toyota Celica. The kit that usually comes out is the 1600 GT. Most recently, has been coming out of Macau Grand Prix race cars. This is going to be street trim, and it's going to be a 1600 ST. Now, the ST is a trim level below the GT and actually requires a different grille and different tail end piece between the tail lights. And what they're going to be doing here is resin grilling all the things, giving you a resin grill and a resin tailgate piece, or tail piece, not a tailgate, it's not a station wagon, but or a pickup truck, but a rear tail panel piece, along with these new ST decals to put on them, and you will be able to make a slightly down trim version of a Toyota Celica from 1972 to 1976, so there's that. Also going to reissue their Mazda Cosmos in its race trim for the 1968 Marathon de Route. It's an 84-hour race back in the day. This kit exists as just a plastic static kit. This is going to be what they're calling Super Detail. Now, you may recall, not that too terribly long ago, maybe about 3 months at this point, they reissued the super detail version of the Mazda Cosmos, gave a white metal engine and PE and all that stuff to make a full detail version. This is the same principle, same parts for the most part, but they're going to be adding new resin pieces in the engine compartment to represent what the engine looked like in race trim. So that's kind of a little bit of a different take on things as Hasegawa continues to take old kits from the 1990s and juju them with new parts and create new model kits out of them. And then last but not least is a reissue of the Suzuki Jimny. And if you're thinking, Suzuki Jimny, what do we need another one of those for? Oh, because we must resin girl all the things. Yes, that's right. This is going to come with a camping resin girl. She appears to have a backpack and be in, well, a plaid shirt and shorts, except this is Japan, and apparently the one time we're going to be have any kind of morals or proprietary, she appears to have leggings on underneath the shorts, at least in the drawing. Now, if those leggings really exist in real life, or she's going to be wearing a plaid shirt and short shorts with, no leggings, remains to be seen when the kit comes out in September. But this was yet another way to resin girl all the things. And hey, why not resin girl all the things, right? So there is those announcements for September. Now, the kit releases this week are going to be all overseas, as one might expect, for the second week of July. They are primarily Aoshima, but we do have a couple of Hasegawa kits as well. So the Hasegawa kits this week are, first up, this 124 scale F1 car. Remember these. This is going to be the Collector's High Grade series of the Williams FW14 with all metal engine details. Now, these kits are full detail as they come injected molded, but I was thinking that they wouldn't have replaced the engine with a metal engine because that seems extraneous because it already has it already has a plastic engine. But I would be incorrect about that. This actually is going to have a completely white metal engine. All of the electronic boxes you see exposed there on the box art are also metal. I don't know if I know there's wiring for them. The person who built this display model didn't paint the metal boxes. They're not supposed to just be metal like that. They're supposed to be painted and have decals and things like that. The wheels in here are also metal, as are the rims, or the wheel lips, I guess I should say. So it's quite a bit of things. Here's a picture of the picture of. Close enough, really, because you're seeing a picture on your phone of all the things you get here. The new tires, there's some wiring there, all the white metal engine pieces, the white metal wheels and wheel lips, and then there are a couple sheets of photo etch included in here for radiators and the wing supports. And the little red thing there looks like a piece of tape is the seatbelt material for making yourself some seatbelts. So that is out there, and that again is going to be running $60, $70 for all that extra detail. The other Hasegawa kit this week is the BU Supra from the 1989 Japanese Touring Car Championship Series. You do get, instead of it looking like they threw some things in at the end to make me happy, this one actually has both team cars blatantly on the decal sheet right from the jump, not just a little corner of decals that they just happen to not have any numbers on or mentions of. They're just figure out where these decals go kind of thing. This one has a decal layout for both teams, so thought ahead on this one. There's no new parts in this, just the new decals. It is molded in blue, as you might expect with a Hasegawa kit. They tend to mold things in close to the colors that they're supposed to be. Somewhat annoying sometimes not. In this case, you're painting a blue car blue. If you want a white Toyota Supra JTC race car, then get the Minolta one. It's molded in white. But I'm guessing that if you're buying this one, you're buying this one to make this car, or both of them, both team cars if you wanted to. The cars had a couple of podiums here and there, but did not win any races. 1989 was pretty much dominated by Ford Sierras at that point that had come over from the British Touring Car Championship, and the Supras were way outclassed at that point by the competition. Also in 1989, you had the R31 GTS R running, and so on. So no love for the Supra by this point. This would be the last time the Supra would be seen in JTC until the Japanese Grand Touring Championship, which is what we call Super GT at this point, when it came back in the 1995 season, and with the Castrol Supra that Tamiya makes. They also have the Sard one that Tamiya made, but you don't really see too many of those because they didn't make that kit for very long. And yeah, Supra, all the Supras, so we're happy to see that. Over at Hasegawa, these are just all going to be restocks. There's none of the new kits are out yet as far as the kits for actual July. So running through these real quick, you have the RN80 Toyota Hilux Custom, one of the airbagged lowrider trucks that they do. This has the North American front clip and North American bed and all the things for 1995 attached to it. Still would love to see this actually, come with the left-hand drive dash components that this Hilux Surf carries to do an actual, U.S. car without having to completely and totally kibosh a Hilux Surf to pull the dashboard and windshield wipers out of, but I guess wishful thinking. I know that I think there were a couple of these floated around by American Sacco back in the day that may have actually had the plastic dashboards or may have been resin. But this does include 2 sets of wheels, but it's been around a whole bunch, so you guys know what to expect out of that. Reissue of the Nismo Z-Tune R34. The Tamiya kit continues to be the better option there. The reissue of the 2007, 2010 Impreza WRX STI. They do give you the parts to build either or in this kit. There were separate kits over the evolution of the original one, but in this reissue in the model car line, it has the parts to do either or. Reissue of the Liberty Works, Shakaten Kyoji's Choice, the tribute to the 1971 Japanese Grand Prix race car. So it is the Hakasuka type of Skyline with corresponding over fenders and decals. That's just a reissue, of course. Also reissued this week the Sea West Racing version of the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10. I really wish, speaking of things that should have 2 versions, there's a racing version of this and there's a street version of this. For some reason, you get parts of, but not the entire kit of the street version in here as well. The street version and the racing version have different hoods, different rear spoilers. I'm literally looking at them as I talk to you. That's why I'm not looking at the camera. I believe the wheels are different, and I think the front bumper treatment is a little bit different too. I don't think the street one has the racing canards on it like the racing one has. But for whatever reason, they didn't include both the hoods and all the other pieces. So you get this, which isn't a bad looking car by any stretch of imagination, but it would just be nice, This is another one of these weird things where it's like there's 2 pieces missing out of this kit to do 2 things with. Why couldn't you just throw the other pieces in? They clearly run with this tooling because I'm not asking you to make something that doesn't exist. It does, just put it all in one box. Whatever. Over at Liberty Walk, again, we got the Liberty Works 130 Laurel kit, so just a reissue of that. And then we have a number of wheel sets this week as well. So you got the Racing Heart Type CR 19-inch wheels on a Honda Accord there in the background. And then you have the Enki Racing NT03 Plus M's, the Rays Volk Racing CE28Ns, and the Volk Racing TE37, all in 19-inch wheels, all saying you should throw them on R34s, which wouldn't be the worst idea in the world, I suppose. And yeah, that would be this week's things. As of the recording of this video, we are 5 weeks from the Nationals in Las Vegas. So panic truly ought to be setting in for you if you're not well along in your builds at this point. And yeah, that covers this one. We hope you guys had a great weekend, and we'll see you guys on the other side.